My name is Professor Adam, and I'm going to teach you how to become a professional cryptocurrency investor. I've been active in finance for almost 9 years, and I've made millions of dollars without the need for one. I'm going to teach you everything that I have learned throughout my years of finance, all of the study, the research, the pain and suffering, so you too can learn from my experience and become elite. So what is cryptocurrency investing? It's buying digital assets and then getting paid massive amounts of money at a later date when you sell them because they have multiplied in value. You'll be taught multiple methods for how to do this, leveraging my years of deep research and world-class systems. When people invest by themselves with no mentorship, they usually get scammed quickly or lose all of their money because the market moves are too fast or confusing. But with my systematic investing, you develop high-quality criteria that tells you clearly what to do to make profit over the long run with far less risk. Most fake trading salesmen online seduce you with flashy Instagrams, and they teach the same ineffective shit between different accounts. This university and this campus specifically is different because I am an effective professional and I will guide you every step of the way. After going through the basics, my masterclass will teach you up to 5 uniquely profitable methods invented by me that will make you elite. So how much do you need to get started? Well, it's up to you. The more you have to start with, the more it's going to become once you multiply. If you look at the amount that you want to invest and you say to yourself, this is a huge amount of money, this is a good amount, and if I was to multiply it, it would meaningfully change my life, then cryptocurrency investing is for you. So if you're ready for the 100, 1,000, 10,000% gains, then get ready to go through the hundreds of lessons that we have in the campus to make you elite, and I'll be here to guide you every step of the way. GM everybody, welcome to another episode of Investing Analysis with your man, Professor Adam. Welcome, good morning or good evening, wherever in the world you're from. It's time to get into it. Now, there is no TPI update today because I forgot. So I just realized as the fucking live stream was starting, but judging by a few of the measures that I quickly did while the intro was playing, I don't see anything major that has changed. Despite the chart going up a little bit, no major changes there. But we do have something interesting to talk about. We have another Capital Wars letter, of course. Every day we have a new Capital Wars letter. It's a good day. So this one here is, it's actually a drilling down of global liquidity into central bank liquidity. So very, very important to delineate the difference between central bank liquidity and global liquidity, because global liquidity incorporates everything. This is also collateral values, shadow monetary base, shadow banking, and central banks. So central banks is a subset of global liquidity. You know, I just realized everybody's probably watching this live stream wondering what the fuck is going on with the Tate token. It's funny, I completely forgot about that because it's inconsequential to us and it almost skipped my mind. So Andrew Tate is not launching a fucking token, guys. So don't get your panties in a fucking twist, all right? I'll be answering all of your questions in the chat channels after the analysis, but very important that you reflect your understanding of what happens in reality based upon my behaviors, okay? You came here to learn from me. There is no fucking top G coin. There is no Tate coin. There is no, the G stands for crypto. There is no nothing, okay? There is no official real world Tate, any type of token anywhere at any point. There is a Tate NFT, which is linked to products that he sells on his official website, of which I don't even believe the NFTs are being distributed anymore. That was a thing that happened a long time ago. So there is no tokens. So don't be scammed into buying anything on the internet. There are no official Tate fucking tokens or anything like that. So we'll talk about that more a little bit later. I'm sure there'll be idiots that'll join this stream and ask me a million questions about it once I go through all the analysis. But of course, there is no shilling, there is no bullshit. What is important is the analysis that we need to go through on a daily basis to understand where the fucking market is going and what information is relevant to us on a daily basis. So I'm going to cover that because that is what's important. Not any fucking hype or marketing stuff that happens on the internet, even if it comes from the official Tate account. If there was something that would be relevant to us for a fucking Tate shitcoin where the real world students are going to get loaded up, You honestly think in any fucking universe where such a thing could happen that I wouldn't know about that and would be talking to you about it fucking days in advance or weeks in advance, or I wouldn't know about it? No, of course not. I'm deeply integrated with everything that happens within the cryptocurrency world, not only at a macro level, but also at a micro level, specifically about the fucking asset class that I was hired by Andrew Tate to guide you all in. Okay, so relax. Let's get into the analysis, and then we will talk about any bullshit fuckery later on. I'm sure you fucking spastics will have a million questions for me that are not at all relevant to what is useful in the world of cryptocurrency investing, but you know what? That is my destiny, to waste my time here effectively for the benefit of everybody. But it is what it is. I show up every day because that is how I became the way I am. And hopefully you can all learn from me. So, first things first, central bank liquidity is a subset of global liquidity. So we'll go into that now. Major central bank liquidity is expanding at a 4.5% 3-month annualized rate, according to the latest weekly balance sheet data. The chart below plots an aggregate of US Federal Reserve, People's Bank of China, ECB, Bank of Japan, Bank of England, weekly liquidity growth expressed as a 3-month annualized rate. As evidenced in the plot, the latest 4.5% rate is up on its previous weeks of 1.8, but below the pace registered in the first half of January. Now, I don't know about you. What the fuck? Okay, whatever. We'll look at it here. I don't know about you, but when I look at this chart, something immediately jumps out at me. Now, if you're looking at this fucking chart and you're not like the alarm bells aren't going off immediately within your brain, there's a fucking problem. Like with your ability to become a professional investor over time. What the fuck does this look like to you? Doesn't there look like a fucking doesn't there look like a bit of a correlation between the pattern of these two time series? Remember the difference between a stationary time series, which is expressed in a first derivative rate of change, and a non-stationary time series, which is expressed in nominal terms. Again, everything is taught in the masterclass. So look at this. Look at what patterns we have from January up into April. High rate of change up into April. Then a moderate rate of change with a negative rate of change beyond June out to October. And then what happened after that? We had a significant pump through this zone here, followed by a moderate decline and an increase in the latest 1-week sample on aggregate. And what has happened since, what is that? Since late December, early January. Oh, well, isn't that? What a coincidence. And it's declined, and then it's fucking going back up again. Amazing. It's almost like the primary driver of this market is actually the primary driver. Now, there is something worthwhile mentioning here, is that it appears as though the major central bank aggregate liquidity is actually more highly correlated to cryptocurrency than is global liquidity. So this is it's a bit of a weird one for me. Is it a concern? Is it good or a bad thing? I'm not entirely sure. I think it's actually maybe a good thing, because if global liquidity is the true measure of how much liquidity is actually in the global economy, and everybody's discounting their opinions about major central bank liquidity in cryptocurrency, there is still an information gap there that's yet to be filled. So this is also kind of related to yesterday's analysis on the lag effect of increasing global liquidity and how it's reflected in cryptocurrency prices. If there is a significant lag between global liquidity and crypto, but we're seeing a very high correlation with major central bank liquidity, then that means that there's an information gap there because central bank liquidity is a subset of global liquidity. So there's still a lot of information there that's yet to be discounted within the cryptocurrency price, which means that potentially cryptocurrency is still a better hedge to major central bank balance sheets and their liquidity than it is for global liquidity. So there is still a long way to go, I think, before the cryptocurrency market becomes sophisticated and developed enough to completely aggregate all of that information about how much liquidity is actually in the global economy. And and it seems to be that the central banks are the main driving force behind cryptocurrencies at the moment. So there may be room for us to analyze this and say, okay, well, we know if global liquidity is moving in a certain direction, but central bank liquidity is moving in a slightly different direction. We may need to temper our expectations between the two of them. Maybe spend a little more time looking at if there's a leading effect between global liquidity to central banks, because if there is, then we may be able to predict where the central banks are going and not just kind of watching this on a coincident basis. Because to me, looking at this, I would be saying, okay, well, this is almost this data here is almost coincident data. Like as soon as this data is known, then it's effectively reflected in price. That there and the decline here and these shapes relating to price kind of suggest that to me. So I think it's worthwhile keeping an eye on this, but I don't think that keeping an eye on major central bank aggregate liquidity growth will give us a major piece of leading information to our investing. Perhaps a growing and a shrinking above or below zero kind of state like this will give us some serious insights for sure, no doubt. But whether or not we can get any useful, extremely leading information out of this, I think maybe probably not. Global aggregate liquidity, judged from all of the other components as well, which is shadow monetary base and collateral values and things like that, is probably still a better leading indicator, whereas this would be a coincidence and maybe almost even lagging indicator. But it still suggests to us that a lot of our energy and effort should still be focused on central banks. So it's kind of like a little bit of a half and half point there that we could potentially look at. So the Fed and the PBOC have led the upturn in global liquidity. The recovery has seesawed, and the latest uptake has been attributed to the People's Bank of China. The next chart plots the 3-month annualized growth rate of the PBOC injections. Blah, blah, blah. The jump has coincided with other monetary easing measures in the form of lower reserve ratios and interest rate cuts announced last week. The PBOC often restricts liquidity early in the new year and then boosts it as the Lunar New Year approaches. The pattern looks to be repeating this year. The Lunar New Year falls on the 10th of February. So they've been reducing, and his expectation is for an increase, which of course is what I have been kind of hanging my hat on for quite a while now. The Fed liquidity growth has slowed from that from that. They're talking a lot. What is this? The dip is down to a small rise in reverse repurchase agreements, similar to the rise in the TGA. Rise in RRP or the TGA equates to tightening. A fall equates to an easing, and that's what's happening in the United States at the moment. And what we have here with the ECB, a base effect which propelled ECB liquidity growth higher in recent weeks has virtually disappeared. Latest data of this growth rate and a nominal value of whatever that is, admittedly both are slightly higher than the previous week. Still, ECB liquidity started the year at this number. Plans by the governing council to advance the normalization of the euro system's balance sheet mean liquidity growth will be held in check for some time to come. That is ECB speak for fucking they're going to keep tightening for a while. So it would not surprise me to see the ECB's rate of change to come back below zero again and continue to tighten somewhere within this zone. Obviously, we would want to see the slack there taken up by China and the US to continually perpetuate the growth of cryptocurrencies. But you may find that some systematic shock will hit Europe, and they will need to print anyway due to their excessive their excessive tightening and issues caused in their financial markets. There hasn't been any major sign of stress that I know of coming through in the news. However, generally, extremely long periods of tightening generally tends to precede crisis, which requires more printing afterwards. So we can just be patient there and allow the U.S. Fed and China to kind of take up the slack. But even then, the U.S. Federal Reserve, at least in the very, very short term, are not going to be doing too much printing. I'll cover that in the 42 macro leader morning notes, but they're basically saying that they're trying to extend the time at which they want to do their rate cuts. They identify that inflation is low, which leads the way to higher liquidity because there's less disincentive for them not to print. But they're still kind of looking at maybe mid-year to cut rates instead of in the first quarter. So we need to be a little bit patient there. Actually, when you think about it, really the majority of the easing really comes down to China and how much they're going to print. But the fact that China's economy is going into the tank and they're having lots of issues, I think that they are going to print hard and print very hard over the next several months. So I'm very chilled. Like despite the US Fed kind of cruising and the ECB tightening, China is under so much stress right now that they really need to print those dollars, or else they're fucked effectively. Bank of Japan liquidity levels are broadly stable. The liquidity stands at whatever yen. With extremely high uncertainty surrounding economies and financial markets at home and abroad, the bank will patiently continue with monetary easing. Okay, cool. So they will be gently stimulating. Doesn't look like it from this chart here. It looks like they're tightening because everything's below the zero mark. Perhaps this is like a double bottom and it just kind of comes back up here and cruises around zero forever. Really, there hasn't been anything major going on in Japan, and England is still tightening, kind of like the ECB. Yeah. Then this is also a lot about what central banks say when they release quotes and they release statements saying, "Oh, we're going to have a restrictive monetary policy for a while now." You don't listen to them. What they say in their statements is bullshit. You look at what their incentives are and what they need to do in order to address what their mandate is and to have that embarrassment avoidance that I outlined within my economics masterclass summary post that I had in the investing analysis channel. If you scroll up in that channel, you'll find that. So really, you don't really listen to what they say. What they say is kind of useful, but it's all propaganda basically. You need to look at what their incentives are. Anyway, moving on. We'll do the leader 42 macro leader morning note. Fed throws cold water on Goldilocks amid more evidence of a soft landing in the US economy. So the US economy is doing very well at the moment. And what he means by this throws cold water on Goldilocks is basically that they're going to delay those rate cuts, or that's their goal at least. So not to be too like excited for rate cuts. This is generally because the US economy is still quite strong, despite everybody saying that the labor market is fucked. Darius is suggesting to us that it's still quite strong. Yesterday's FOMC overshadowed positive signals. Yeah, liquidity stemming from this week's. Yep. So positive liquidity from the QRA. It reduces the need of corporations to pass on cost pressures to consumers, lowering the probability of an adverse monetary policy response in the future. Now, I had a quick look over all of that and some of the extra descriptions later on in this note, and I couldn't really find anything super useful. Cool. So Bitcoin, isn't this great? So the top-down market regime is Goldilocks. The Bitcoin macro weather model is bullish, and the discretionary position is still max long within the tactical fucking framework here. So that's very, very cool to see. And of course, like my qualitative bias with liquidity is still very firmly upwards, and quantitatively as well. So I have not seen evidence yet of this declining in a significant way that would scare me, although I have not updated that today. So I'll check that after I've finished the investing analysis and see whether or not that's broken into a negative trend or not. Anyway. But yeah, if oh, and Darius flagged Bitcoin and Ethereum as being neutral VAMs, but honestly, the VAM system is so bad for trend following management. I'm not a huge fan, honestly. If you go back in time and you look at how this has performed, it's quite rough. So I mean, how long has our medium term TPI been short biased for? Like, use that as an example compared to this, and really think like, are the VAMs that good? Are they really? Probably not. Now to the weather model. Oh fuck! Look at that. That's cool. I wonder what that was driven by. Weather model still long on Bitcoin with the liquidity models still long, which is good. Always good to see. I love to see that. Yeah, I read through this briefly. I didn't see anything that was incredibly useful. Mostly about the stock market and about the economy. Risk sentiment is on. Yeah, so you can see here that there is rate cuts being. I wish it was. I wish there was some meeting dates prior to this on this in the February. They're not having a February meeting. Anyway, you can see that the market is is pricing in cuts from basically next month, despite what the Fed has said. So rate cuts are somewhere between next month and second half. But that's really inconsequential. Like, global central bank liquidity and global liquidity will rise or fall independently of interest rates. Interest rates is just like a headline kind of like driver. Yes, they do make a difference for sure, but you're going to see the changes occurring in Bitcoin price or crypto prices relative to the balance sheet more powerfully than a change to any of the interest rates. Good. Yep. Mm-hmm. Corporate profits, not relevant for us really. Yeah, cool. All right. Okay, so we'll move on now to the regular data, of course. Full cycle valuations are still a long way away from max values. And what are we looking at with our short term realized profit and loss? Still a long way off what I would consider to be a whip from that moving average and a crossover there. So still, I am biased for a little bit more consolidation, and that's also probably reflected in the IFP, inter-exchange flow pulse indicator. And that's interesting. The volatility signal from yesterday is now not there anymore. Bizarre. But yeah, I don't look at either of those two. Let's have a quick look at this. You can see it. Oh, shit. It's consolidating just a tiny little bit. It's consolidating just a tiny little bit, but it's not really flying back up again. I'm very curious to see how that resolves itself over the next couple of days and the next week or so. We'll keep an eye on that. What is the date today? It's the 2nd of February. So if we're expecting the Chinese New Year, the Lunar New Year, for them to start printing, that's still another potentially 2 weeks away. So my warning to everybody out here listening to the sound of my voice right now is to temper your expectations. Just fucking relax for 2 weeks and make sure that all of your ducks are in a row. Good to see that all of the total aggregate Bitcoin holdings are starting to trend up again, which is nice. And these two seem to have broken, which is a little bit annoying. New money is basically back down at zero again, so I'm not even going to bother looking at that. Short-term holder SOPR is positive. Supply and profit is still way too positive. It would be I don't wish pain upon us, but it would be nice to see this decline a bit more. That's still very high. what zone were we? We're in this zone pre-bull market. We're in this zone pre-bull, during bull market. Where are we now? There. Okay, so no other major insights there that I'm willing to talk about. Let's have a little bit of a look through Capriol charts. Still, is that a tiny little flick on the end that I'm seeing? Very hard to see. And I don't think I can zoom in. Yeah, I can't zoom in. Yep, BTC Heat is still creeping upwards. I expected nothing less. Ethereum still consolidating, but above zero. Whatever, macro, cool. Now, altcoins. Bread's declining just a little bit still. Which is nice. Good. Let them bleed out for a little time. Good. Let it come. Give us lower prices. Can't be bothered loading that up. Yep, good. That belongs at a different part of the fucking thing. Cool. Decent trader. Liquidation maps. No major changes. However, I'm starting to see a little tiny bit of evidence of some short liquidations starting to aggregate. Not very big though. Not big enough to cause any major drive in the Bitcoin price. That's not going to compel it in any particular way, but it's still good to see. Good to see that coming along. Google Trends. Nothing really interesting to talk about there. Now let's have a look at sentiment. Holy fuck. Oh my god, that's really high. Holy shit. Fucking hell. That's not good. That's all right. Okay, so what do we have? We had an increase in total. An increase in Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana. They all kind of increased in the same way. But Ethereum, I can see just from looking at this, people are going to be suckered into this. They're going to be looking at that going, oh yeah, it's going to keep accumulating. It's more likely that it's probably going to flag and break down like this and at least hit your new lows before coming back up again. Who knows? It maybe even come down to there. It's really test the conviction of the hodlers like myself. Take the ETH BTC ratio maybe back down a little bit before going back up. Although that's very speculative and based on nothing but my opinion. But that is quite bad. I don't like to see that at all. And this sentiment measure here for Ethereum is even worse. I don't like to see that at all. So unless that is a data error, I don't want to see that. That's bad. And it's probably indicative of lower prices. But that's okay because I did expect that we would probably not have a sustained increase in this until mid-February. So I'm going to repeat what I said. My original bias was that this triangle here was going to be filled up with consolidation. That's no longer the case because we broke out above that. But I would still be under the belief that some sort of consolidation happens through this zone pre-Lunar New Year, and that you may even see this go slightly below the realized price line to give us a zero or a negative, slightly negative reading on that ratio. And that would send ETH probably down to somewhere like here, especially since ETH is currently underperforming and this fucking flag right here is looking quite nasty. So that you have to be prepared for that. And don't come to me, guys, don't fucking come to me in the chat and be like, oh, well, if you know Ethereum is going down, why don't you sell everything right now and then buy it all back when it goes down lower? Mate, if you want to do that, you can go and you can tactically trade the cryptocurrency market all you like. I'm not going to be doing any of that because these are long-term portfolio holdings. I'm just going to hold all this shit because I want those sweet, sweet capital gains tax discounts. That is the game that I'm playing. If you want to play a different game, you have all the tools to do that within the masterclass. You can have your RSPS where you're swapping around different holdings and actively managing things. That's fine. You can do that. It's not an issue. Just don't ask me to do it in the SDCA portfolio, which you should already know is something that is changed very rarely. It has a very, very light touch when you're moving things around, because the concept is full cycle exposure. Full cycle exposure, right? No fucking around with it, because every decision you make will potentially open you up to an error. It's one of the benefits of having a long-term portfolio. It's one of the reasons why it exposes you to the highest probability of success, specifically for the reason why it reduces your activity in the portfolio. So know your approach and don't fucking confuse them, okay? As I'm sick of people asking me, oh, Adam, if you say this is going to happen, why not do this? Less is more when it comes to long-term portfolios, which will likely outperform every other trader on earth. Okay, now we'll move into some shorter term shit. I don't want to look at that anymore. I don't want to look at that. Right, so the Bitcoin 1 week map from CoinAnk is looking pretty neutral. Nothing really much to talk about there. It looks like maybe it's slightly biased to the upside before going back down again. Sol is looking very neutral. I'm happy with that. Sol will just follow the overall market, but you may potentially see something like this. But if I had to be biased, I would say directly down, straight down, especially considering those QuiverQuant sentiment measures are so high. Let's see if the 30-day corroborates this. Yeah, it does slightly. You can see how it's a little bit thicker here towards the present moment. That belongs in a different part of the thing. That's full cycle indicator. No updates there. We already covered that on the Capriol website, and we have bread still coming back upwards again on majors, but downwards on the small caps. Very weird. Cool. So that is all that I want to cover as far as data is concerned. If you have any questions for me regarding any bullshit with the market, or if you want to ask me a fucking question about Tatecoin, then I suppose now's your chance, fuckers. You really want to see me extremely mad? Oh, well, isn't it your lucky day? Anyone who believes in Tatecoin is beyond retarded. Well, when will I get to sign up for Tatecoin? I sold everything I own. Skull reacts only. Oh dear, correlation is cray-cray. Big G in the Amex lounge, waiting for my flight to Vegas. Flight delay, no worries. IA with Adam. G shit. All right, good shit. All right. As long as you keep on showing up every day and doing the same thing, eventually, somewhere, somehow, you might fuck around and learn something. That's true. Oh, the Federal Reserve printing money. GM Prof, working at the moment. I will watch this IA tonight. Question, why the fuck is one of the banks I bank with in Australia needing to see full paper trail of where the funds I deposited out is currently sitting? They wanted my exchange wallet address, which I gave, and now they want to see a MetaMask address. I said it is currently there. They won't unlock my account until they see evidence. I understand banks wanting to prevent scams and fraud. However, this seems like Matrix trying to keep control. What's your opinion on this? This is a natural evolution of banking. They just want to make sure they know where all of your shit is, because the fucking ATO, the Australian Tax Office, is going to say to the banks, hey, you're responsible for anti-terrorist, anti-money laundering kind of things. So you need to know where all the funds come from and where they go. Otherwise, you may be complicit in terrorism. So the bank goes, oh, well, fuck, I need to figure out where everybody's money is going anytime they withdraw cash to an exchange. So they have all the different exchanges flagged, and anytime you take money out to them, it triggers a warning where they say, okay, well, this person is obviously using an exchange. The exchange will have a wallet, and if they withdraw, then they will need to go to a MetaMask from there. So it is what it is, man. You cannot avoid this, and the crypto blockchain is public. If they were to go to you and charge you with fucking tax fraud, it wouldn't be a very long stretch of the imagination for them to just go to the bank and go, okay, which exchange did he move it into? And then the government threatens to close down the exchange, and the exchange goes, oh, well, we're compliant, so this is the guy's account, and this is the wallet that he moved his money into. And then this is the MetaMask wallet that he withdrew from our exchange into. And so regardless of whether or not you provide them the information or not, the information is all there, and there's no way a corporation or a fucking centralized exchange, because again, I am very heavily biased against sexes because they're run just by fallible people who just want to make money, and they're just business people like you and me, right? It's just business. They're going to give the government all of your information. Don't hate them because of it. It's the game, baby. It's just the fucking way that it is. So you can give them the information, or you can not, and they will freeze your accounts, and they will fucking charge you for some tax fraud, and they will find out your information anyway. It's all public information, and it's going to be found out. So if you do have a problem with them, may as well tell them, because those are basically on-chain accounts that belong to you, and there's no way that you can conceal that. It's already fucking done, right? Don't be under this delusion that cryptocurrency, as soon as it leaves the exchange, is somehow in this magical anonymous universe where nobody can touch you. The cryptocurrency fucking universe that had your money come from a bank, from the bank to a SEX and into a MetaMask, is still all part of the fucking financial system according to the government of the country that you live in, Australia, because we live in a fucking I'm gonna stop myself there before I get myself into trouble. But yes, you don't have a choice. And that's all there is to it, right? You want to be fucking anonymous and whatever, then you can go deep into the realms of, looking at privacy coins and trying to figure out whether or not you can interact with those and deal with the consequences of being seen to interact with anonymous blockchains, and then trying to explain that to your fucking accountant or the tax office when they come and get you. GM, eat the bugs. Yes. Side note, I've been trying to figure out what watch Adam wears in the lessons, but I'm guessing a Rolex. Yeah, it's a Rolex, bro. It's a fucking Submariner. I love my sub. Because I bought it to celebrate my kickboxing win. So it's very important to me. There's a lot of energy contained within this watch. That's why I always love to wear it. A lot of energy contained in this watch. And that's another thing as well. Like, if you're going to buy yourself a nice watch or something nice, like I've mentioned this previously, I own very few nice things. But when I buy something nice, usually it means a lot to me. I wear this watch. It's important to me. This chain that I wear around my neck every day was given to me by my family. And I don't wear any other jewelry. I've got like one other watch that I like, and it's just a fucking G-Shock, bro. It's like, it's nothing. And that's it, and a nice car. So, and that's it, really. Like, everything else in my life is like kind of inconsequential, really. Like, there's nothing else that I really am that bothered about that I spend my money on. Right. Yeah. No. How many birds do you own, Adam? First ducks, then lorikeet. I own 100 ducks, and I don't own the lorikeet anymore. I could say, fortunately or unfortunately, lorikeets are a lot of work. They have a very big attitude, and they can get very aggressive. But I'll always look favorably upon the time where I had my lorikeet. Honestly, I love Ethereum is down. Does that make me a sociopath? Makes you more of a psychopath, I think. Sociopath, maybe, as well. GM Prof, passed the masterclass, and I'm in the process of making my own systems. I'm very excited. Good. Sentiment's got to be a data error. The Jupiter airdrop is affecting it. I don't know, man. Thanks for the deep IA yesterday. Thought that the causality test was fucking cool. Loved it. Yeah, it is kind of cool, isn't it? I don't really get the point of the simple long-term investing signal. It's always going to tell you to buy 50-50. No, it's not going to fucking change unless it's the top of the fucking market cycle. See, you don't understand the point of investing, right? The point of investing is to make and then keep money. You fucks, like, with no experience. I know you. I know who you are. I know everything about you and every choice that you will make when you interact with the cryptocurrency market. I know every choice you'll make. I know I can see deep into your soul. I don't even know who the fuck you are, and I know every choice you'll make. And you will bag hold. You know why? Because the same forces of psychological nature that causes Pavlov dogs to salivate when he rings that bell so that they can get their steak is the same thing that causes you to stop yourself from selling when the price goes up. When the price goes up, you should be fucking terrified. And you should be, the burden of having the extra money should make you feel like you're in fear. But I know that's not what the market makes you feel, because it's conditioning you to feel more excited. You see the number going up and you're happy. And that same happiness is what makes you hope that it keeps going up the next day. And then every single day you don't do something. You're being trained into inaction at every single new all-time high. And it keeps going higher and higher and higher and higher. And you're being rewarded for your incompetence until it's too late. And then it's all over. Just like that. And you won't have a second chance, because by the time you realize the price has declined 50%, all your shit will be gone. And you will be thinking to yourself, oh, maybe it will recover if I just hold a little bit longer, because every single other time that I did nothing, it worked out better for me. Then it's down 60%, then it's down 70%, then it's down 80%, then it's down 90%. And now you're thinking about wrapping your car around a light post because you can't handle the fact that you thought you were going to change your life and then nothing happened of it, and you just wasted 3 years of your life. However, if you follow the simple long-term investing signals, I will tell you where the cycle peak is, and I will tell you very clearly, don't buy any fucking Bitcoin. And with the thing that says, if you've fucked up, this is what to do, it will say, if you own crypto, don't fucking own any crypto anymore. Because I will be right there telling you what to do. And you will fight me on that. I know exactly what you type of people will say. You'll be like, oh, but Adam, but these reasons and those reasons, and you said this and you said that. And I'll be like, I'm in 100% cash and you can do whatever the fuck you like, because I will not be wanting to hold my crypto positions at the peak of a fucking bull market, man. Not a fucking chance. You will see me doing some reckless shit and bag holding. Fuck that shit. So that's what the simple investing signals are for. Yeah, fuck the ATO. There's still only $500. Yeah. Good, there's no crypto tax from where I live. Cool. That's nice. Is this student ghosted ignore? It's been like 3 streams and yeah, no, he's old mate, Goblin King. He's talking to me about some important stuff, and my life is a mess, and I'm just constantly, I don't want to check his DMs because I know that when I do, I'm going to have to make some serious changes to some shit. And it's just a reminder. I know that because there's no way of me clicking on the thing and marking it as unread. So I just have to leave it as unread so that I know that I have to do something at a later date. And my to-do list is fucking enormous. And I'm very appreciative to Goblin King, and he'll be watching all these streams probably wondering why I'm not answering his messages. It's not because I'm trying to ignore him. It's because actually it's the inverse. He requires a lot of my attention, and yeah. Anyway. BTC just broke resistance. You should just jump off a bridge probably. No, don't do that. You're really dumb, man. Fuck off to the trading campus if you want to talk like that. I'm sick of that bullshit. Prof, which of these is the better supercar? Audi R8 plus Huracan STO, McLaren 720S. I've only ever driven the Huracan, so I can't comment, but I would imagine that the Audi R8 for me personally is the superior car, because I really I actually quite enjoy the GT car kind of feel, and I know that the Audi R8 is it's a little bit softer than the Lamborghini, but it still has that same incredible engine, bro. Until you've heard that fucking V8, you have not lived your life, man. I swear. I know that it's crazy, and you're probably like, yeah, of course, Adam, because it's a supercar. You don't understand, man. That fucking V10. It still haunts me to this day. I've never heard anything like it before. I've been to race car events. I've been to fucking drag strips. I've been to car meets of all sorts, bro. I've never heard anything like that V10 ever before. It's absolutely unreal. Yeah. Would now be a good time for somebody who's just started the investing portion of the course to buy Bitcoin? Yeah, of course. Why not? Simple long-term investing signals, motherfucker. Can you bring back... no, read the channel, dickhead. You make your own fucking RSPS. Can you not read? How did you make it to investor if you don't have the ability to read? Like the explanation is quite clear, I thought. If you can read the explanation here, it should be very, very clear to you what's going on. Strange, very strange post. I bought myself a nice office chair as a reward for passing the masterclass, but not as nice as Rolex, but a nice reward nonetheless. Okay. I can see Prof. Adam in a Ferrari 488 Spider or Ferrari with similar body style. Yeah, my mum loves you. I love your mum too. Shout out to Mac Horse's mum. Would you recommend a TPR or SDCA because I was debating between those? What the fuck do you mean? Doesn't even make any sense. Usually training during the eye, so I never get immediate knowledge. Training at home today, though, it's a blessing. Damn. Fuck, what a nice view. Yeah, man, that's a really nice view, bro. LSR'd around late December. Fucking stressed about having to sell everything before I hit the capital gains tax limit. I'm not afraid to sell before. Yeah. How do you stay chill when we hit Valhalla? Bro, I'm not chill. Mate, the stress levels are at all-time highs, like, according to price. Stress is proportional to price for me. I know a lot of you don't think like that because you're living in the fucking matrix and your brains work on NPC programming. But you should see price as correlated to stress. This is very stressful. It's not fun. It's not fun to fucking make millions of dollars. It's stressful, bro. Because you got to make the right choice then, or else you fucked up. Super bad. Down here is really good. Mate, you should be relaxed. You should be very relaxed at these points. You should be chilling, sitting back going, oh man, I'm so grateful that I could get access to these lower prices. And you just know eventually it's going to stop going down. Yeah. Have you thought about the Roman Empire lately? Yeah, a little bit, but everybody thinks a little bit about it. GM Adam, will you be investing in Takecoin? Probably not. GM Adam, what's your comment on quantitative easing? You need to be more specific. What about it? What's my comment on quantitative easing? It causes the number to go up, bro. You daily IA. All right, what do we got? Consistently disciplined? Yes. Let's get it, mate. Okay, wow, what a massive post. Hey, brother, I am a coach and I saw you bulking in today's IA, and I heard you say that the weight is going up really fast. Not 100% sure if you mean your weight or the weight in the gym, both. As you want to ensure this is your weight as a natural lifter, you put in weight damn near as slow as possible. Yep. That is very generous of you. Yes. Well, fun fact, and you know, this might be too much information for a few people, but I actually stopped taking, well, no, when I started losing my hair, I actually was because I was like loading up on creatine like crazy. I was like, I don't know why, but I was like overdosing on creatine, and that actually caused a lot of my hair to fall out. So I stopped taking creatine for a very long period of time, and now I only take like a tiny little bit of creatine, and yeah, it's been like years now, and I've been trying to regrow the hair back on the crown of my head that I lost from all that overdosing of creatine supplementation. Because for those that don't know, and I'm assuming this is correct, you can maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but creatine increases DHT in the blood, just like dihydrotestosterone, which is the super testosterone that causes like puberty and shit. And a lot of steroids are kind of like derivatives of DHT because it's like super testosterone, but it also is the most it's the most powerful for causing those hair follicles to fall out as well. So it can be a bit of a double-edged sword there. Thank you, man. Yeah, well, I may take you up on that. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Nice quads. Nice Serratus too. G shit. Hi Adam. When the signal for the SDCA portfolio says sell, considering there is a lot of us in here, do you think it will have a significant impact on the market? Might be a crystal ball question, but no, I don't think it'll. No, I don't think it will have any impact whatsoever. On, if I'm being fucking completely honest with you, no. Reason why is because if you think about the adoption curve of where we are in the overall like global understanding of cryptocurrency, mate, we are still we're at the end of the early innovator phase for sure, but we haven't even begun to crack like the majority of people on Earth and the amount of money that they're willing to put in, mate. The cycle will never fucking change, right? It's like asking you, an individual, hey, if there was a hand grenade set off out the front of your house, would you or would you not immediately spin around and go, holy shit, I just heard a hand grenade going off? You cannot stop yourself from orientating to a loud noise. It's in the same way plebs, which is 99% of society, cannot stop themselves from buying something at its all-time highs because they're so excited about it. There will be, this cycle, so much exit liquidity for the majors, you will have no fucking idea, and it will be very easy, in my opinion, to get out of our holdings with no impact on the market. Very little impact on the market whatsoever. In the previous bull market, which strategy were you using? It was a mix of a whole bunch of shit, bro. But it was mainly like an LTPI kind of based strategy, and it was basically an SDCA strategy. If I'm being rough with it, like it was a very rough SDCA strategy. The RSPS really didn't get developed until a lot later. No, it looks absolutely nothing like it. And you fucks, I know what you're thinking. I know you fuckers think. I know exactly how you think. I've answered every fucking question a million times before. All of you think that the fucking same strategy that I use to make money here is the exact same strategy that you're running here based upon the shit that I taught you. I evolve as well, and I'm always changing and improving. The shit that I was using here is not the same shit I was using here, and certainly not the same shit I was using here. And I was making things better as I was moving forwards, and I was innovating and inventing new things, and I'm always getting better. And your goal, like I mentioned in yesterday's investing analysis, is that fate and the universe is very generous. You have entropy, which is making, or fucking market competition, or whatever natural force of the universe you want to describe it as, is always trying to make things harder. But provided you just work a little bit harder than that over time and you never give up, the gap between entropy or the fucking efficient market hypothesis and you and your skill can get wider over time. You fucks come into this university and think that you can come in here and study really hard for like 1 or 2 weeks. And maybe if you learn everything that Professor Adam has to teach you in 1 month, you can then cancel your membership and you don't have to come back for the second month. And then you suddenly know everything. And you know what happens? This happens. And then you fucking go back down again and the market continues to improve and it marches on with or without you. Right? And without the fucking motivation that I give you, I would, because I certainly needed a lot of motivation, a lot of the vision of how to achieve greatness as a professional investor instead of just like as a gambling peasant. You will fucking not have the willpower to continue on unless you really, really love what this is and you're self-compelled and you can take some of my love for this game with you to constantly outwork the decay of the alpha in the market. This needs to be your destiny, always getting a little bit better because you can, and this gap here reflects in your portfolio balance. I swear to God, it reflects in your portfolio balance. It reflects in your net worth. You wonder why Tate is so incredibly rich. It's because he started putting in more effort than entropy over every dimension of his life from basically as soon as he could fucking speak and walk. His father was on his case and he was like, okay, well, I need to be the best version of myself for my dad. I need to take care of my younger brother. You know, I'm starting from the bottom. I need to be good. And his entire life, he's been putting in maximum energy so he can get as far away from the entropy line as possible. Tate's trajectory is like this. What's your trajectory like? Pleb? He who's watching this. Universal Alpha. Is your trajectory like this? And you come in here for a month or two and then give up the destiny of most of the people that come into this fucking campus? Or are you going to be like me, who at the age of like your mid-20s then decided to become better? And the kink in this fucking line is when I joined the war room. Or are you going to be like Tate, where you start from a very early age and you just never fucking stop, ever, 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 ever. You never ever stop. And that the gap between the alpha line and the line of your life, do you want this? Do you want this? Or do you want where I am right now? Do you want that? What do you want? But you've got to put in the energy for it to outpace the universe, because the universe is trying to take things away from you. The universe is trying to take your life. If you were to sit outside and not defend yourself, the fucking ants would bite your feet and the wind and rain would come and make you cold, and then you'd be exhausted, and the birds would come and they would pluck out your fucking eyes, and then the dogs would eat you. The universe is trying to bring you down, and the only thing that works against entropy is energy. I was wondering if you've ever been recognized by a student in person. Yes, I have only ever had 2 people in real life recognize me. One at a casino and one at a gym. And yeah, it's you know, I don't mind. Listen, if you're respectful and you're cool, like you can say hello to me if you see me in public, especially if I'm with a girl or if I'm with my G's, it'll make me look good. That's not a problem. It honestly, if you're cool and you're respectful, come up to me anytime. Maybe not while I'm like eating or something, but like any other time, pretty much, it's no problem, man. If you see me and you want to say hello, be cool, not a problem. How much creatine are we taking, bro? Fucking heaps, man. I was taking like, I don't know, it must have been like 10 or 15 grams a day or some stupid amount, man. Don't do it. Yeah. How many hours a day do you spend on the real world compared to your own research and analysis? I spend way more time in the real world than I do on my own analysis, which pisses me off to no end. Oh, you passed the masterclass. Congratulations. Finally. Yeah, it's hard because also the real world analysis, some of it is tied up in my own personal analysis, so it's very difficult. I also didn't catch the part of the stream, but you said hold on 2 weeks because of Chinese New Year. Thanks. Do you recommend any on-chain indicators for MTPI besides the SOPR you recently recommended? No. Does consolidation allow a bull market to run higher? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Good. Yes. Meaning, if a rally goes straight up, is it? Yes, you're right. Absolutely. And this was also explained to you in the lessons, right? You need a bear market to establish a stronger foundation so that your bull market can be more powerful, because you need to flush out all of the high turnover weak hands. Otherwise, you're just going to have this highly volatile kind of chopping market environment. If you can flush out all of the fuckers who are very weak and they don't believe in it and they don't want to accumulate, mate, by the time the bottom tick of the market comes in, you only have the most mentally fucking strong, hard-ass soldiers who are ready to live or die by the price of Bitcoin forever, and they have surrendered their existence to the long-term holding mentality. At that point, your supply is completely locked up as much as it possibly can be locked up, and you have the most powerful possible base for your bull market to operate from. Can you still make money in the bear market? Yes, by running the SOPs. Thank you, Adam. Trying not to be a normie, trying to be a professional. Good. GM was about to sleep. Would it be a great idea to use the liquidity proxy you have on TradingView? I see the correlation has with Bitcoin and implement it in the correlation table in our RSPS. No. I can't believe I have to cover this, but it's you incorporate it in the LTPI, man. So not only, I mean, RSPS, you don't incorporate it in the RSPS. You incorporate it into the TPIs, and the RSPS uses a medium-term TPI, not a long-term TPI, which is not the TPI that I would recommend. So you're two levels away from the correct interpretation, which is a bit disappointing, but that's all right. Yeah. Yes. Thanks, dude. I'm already stressed. Yep. You were talking about the government finding earlier info. Is it trust? No, guys. There's no way around it. And even if I knew, I wouldn't be able to tell you. So don't ask me. Of the ways that I do know, if I was to know, which I don't, I wouldn't even tell War Room members over fucking Telegram. I would have to tell them in person because it's information that's so fucking dangerous. Just don't do it. Tell the government of all of your holdings. Don't try and conceal them, or else they will send the SWAT team to your house and I will not be there to fucking save you. Doesn't matter how you think crypto works. It's all public and all traceable everywhere. Jim Prof, what strategies do you recommend for efficient and lasting learning? I'm seeking advice on effective study techniques to enhance information retention and understanding for the long term. Thank you for your time. As the principles of adult education teach you, the most leveraged first principle of understanding and retaining knowledge and information is always to understand the link between what you're learning and your desired outcome, and to see that within your mind, right? You think that I could ever fully commit to understanding how investing worked if I didn't fully understand that it was a capital multiplying activity, and that when I saved money, that I could multiply my life force, because that's all money is, right? I think Justin Waller mentioned this, or somebody mentioned this. Money is life force, right? I think it was an audio book I was listening to. You have to exchange your life for the dollars. So that's contained life force, right? Imagine being able to multiply your life. Isn't that the most beautiful thing? What the fuck would I spend my time on anything else for if I could multiply my life? Isn't that amazing? That's what investing is. So if you understand the link between what you want and the activity that's getting you there, you will not need to try and maximize absorption or anything like that. You will be compelled, like at an animalistic level, to just dive right into it. In the same way that you can be absorbed by porn or fucking by like doing a massive line of cocaine, and you're like, man, I'd love to do another massive line of cocaine right now. That's the same way that you'll feel about investing education. And there will be nothing that will stop you from feeling that compulsion if you understand that link. Me understanding that link in the first degree was where I got my curiosity and my drive from. It's the building block that everything else stems from. You will not need to try to learn, and you will have the maximum possible human absorption rate for that information if you just understand that link and really come to terms with it. It's very clear to me. And the fact that it maybe is not clear to everybody else, as you would see by the amount of student roles in this server and the lack of people going through, it's obvious to me that nobody really understands this in the same way that I do. If the person that clicked on this fucking campus button to join the crypto investing campus understood this in the way that I did, the number that made it to here would equal 195,000 students or something ridiculous like that. But nobody, how could you not see this the way I see it? It just doesn't make any fucking sense to me. But anyway, that is where I believe the most leverage technique comes. It's no Pomodoro. It's no scheduling. It's no note taking. It's just understanding the beauty of what investing is and what it does for you. Fuck you. Mate, oh, fuck, I want to kick you from this campus so bad. Is this a... Fuck, you're so dumb. And I hate this post so much. Correct on the creatine. Yep. Okay, cool. Yep. Good. Excellent. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, well, it's you got to follow the evidence, I suppose. Yep. Excellent. Oh my god. DCAing over the next 2 weeks for the rest of my capital. Could you really give us a small explanation why you have liquidity and why it's in the SDCA? Couldn't find any content. Yeah, no, well, if it's the reason why it's not covered in the IAs is because it's already covered in the SDCA channel. Scroll up, bro. Scroll up. Money is the stored time and energy of other humans. Yes, excellent. Cool. Good. The best thing was literally erase everything I knew. Good, yeah. Bro, the edition doesn't matter. I think the one I have is 4th edition, yes, but I don't, from my understanding, I don't think that any of the other editions are going to be much significantly different. All right, guys, that's all I have time for today. Thank you very much for arriving and listening to me and understanding that there is no fucking take coins and that you should all stop being gambling degenerate pieces of shit, especially the people who come into my campus trying to do short-term trading. You can all fuck off. But everybody else, I love you very much. Make sure you get through the masterclass. That is why you're here. You're not here to casually like take some signals. The signals are not for you to fucking just turn your brain off. You need to understand what you're doing. Have a comprehensive understanding of this activity that is so beautiful, that is so leveraged. Not in the way that you think, in the way that I think, in the way that you can convert the time and energy of your life and multiply it. It's an amazing thing to do. Participate in capitalism. Love it for what it is. Don't try and fight against it. All of this is taught right here. Please, please, help out your fellow students. Show them the way. Tell them where the lessons are. Finish the masterclass, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace.